Welcome to another edition of Smalltalk for you. This morning I wanted to go back to the Cincom Smalltalk stuff and talk a little bit about unit testing again using standard testing instead of the SUnit tools testing. So to get started, what you want to do is go to the parcel manager, go in here to popular and load RBS unit extensions, which I'll do now. Now this is going to load in a framework that's very similar to what you saw before, the difference being that we're using standard SUnit, so there's a little more complexity in terms of adding our initial test case. And I'll show you that right here. I'll go to class, new class, and notice here I have to do X for the name. I'm going to call this counter tests. I'm going to leave it in the Smalltalk namespace, but for the superclass I need to put in X programming dot SUnit dot test case. So you notice that's a little long-winded compared to what we had before, so I'll hit OK on that. But now everything's going to be pretty much the same. Now that I have my test case, I can go in here and we'll say add tests, and now we'll put in test add 1, and what we'll do is we'll say counter colon equal counter new, and then counter add 1, and then self assert. So it's going to work exactly the same as the other in this case. So the code's going to look identical, and in fact the two are kind of interchangeable in the sense that if you load SUnit tools, you can run the test created with this framework, not the other way around though. So now I'm going to say assert that counter count equal 1, and then I will accept this, and we'll say that's a temporary. And now notice down here the browser looks a little different than it did before, but it's going to perform much the same. The difference being that we have the green over here like this. You don't have as many icons, it's more textual, but perhaps the green's a little easier to see. Now let's just show you what the negation looks like. Let's say that I put in a bad test here, so we'll compile that, and now we'll run it again, and you notice nice big bright red. So if you screw up your test, or if your test shows that there's a problem, very obvious to see what's going on. So that's kind of the other side of unit testing if you use the standard stuff as opposed to the SUnit tools. Usually if you're doing VisualWorks or Object Studio development, I recommend SUnit tools, but if you've got a whole suite of SUnit test cases already, you might want to use this instead. So that's about it for today. Until next time, have fun with whatever Smalltalk you're using.